Hello, what is up, YouTube and others, whoever's watching this. So, I was thinking of doing a segment on this. This news that just came out. Twitch reportedly considering cutting pay to streamers to boost its own profits. So, the new report suggests that the site's top streamers will see their share of subscriptions dip down from 70% to 50%. Now, I knew that Twitch took a cut from revenue from subscriptions, but I mean 70% is, I think, pretty fair. I mean, I wouldn't know, but 30%'s pretty big, especially since like it's the streamers who are bringing in the content, bringing in the subscriptions. I mean, I understand Twitch is providing the platform, but do they really need that much money, that much more profit? I mean, it's already owned by Amazon, a giant corporation that owns like I don't know, like 10% of America's economy at this point. So let's see, 2022 is shaping up to be a rough year for content creators and sellers trying to make a living through major tech platforms. Sellers on Amazon and Etsy are already facing increased fees, and now new pay cuts may reportedly make their way to Twitch. So, sellers on Amazon and Etsy, is Etsy owned by Amazon? I don't think so. I mean, it's a competitor to Amazon, isn't it? But, like, does Amazon really need that much more money? Like, Amazon is already super profitable. Jeff Bezos is, like, blowing billions of dollars on trips to space. I mean, he's not the CEO anymore, but still. Does Amazon really need to be more profitable at this point? I don't know. A new Bloomberg report citing from people familiar with Twitch's pay. The company wants to incentivize streamers to run more ads in addition to considering reducing the portion of subscription fees allocated to performers. Okay, so more ads? I thought there were enough ads on Twitch already. I mean, it seems like they're just trying to squeeze as much money out of this as they can. The site's top streamers will reportedly see their shares of subscriptions dip down from 70% to 50%, considering introducing multiple pay tiers with different criteria required to qualify for each. Does this mean different subscription tiers? I mean, I think that's already a thing, but different criteria required to qualify for each? What does that mean? Like, what's the criteria? Like, they already have Twitch Prime. Do you have to, like, pay a certain amount to be able to subscribe that much? All told, these changes are intended to boost Twitch's profitability. Again, like, I thought Twitch was profitable enough already, though it could come at the expense of their community's most active users. Yeah, probably. Twitch not immediately responds. The sources speaking with Bloomberg said the company may consider easing up on its exclusivity restrictions, which would let creators stream on other platforms and potentially raking in. Okay, well that's nice, because I know that if you have a contract with Twitch, you can only stream on Twitch, which is why some streamers didn't want to become partnered with Twitch, because they were already streaming on YouTube. They were already making money elsewhere, YouTube and elsewhere. Apparently there's a lot of pretty big untapped market for streaming in other platforms, which is why I was considering actually starting to dual stream, but actually apparently that costs money. So maybe I'll just do the free trial thing and see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Monetization. Some 24% of internet users between the ages of 16 to 64 said they began watching more live streams during the pandemic. That makes sense. Even with the uptick in eyeballs, Twitch is simultaneously reeling from what Bloomberg calls a mass exodus of employees disappointed in the company's direction. Okay, well, that's a bad sign. Some 300 employees reportedly left Twitch last year, Another 60 leaving the first 3 months of 2022. Top creators have left too. Are they talking about Ludwig, Dr. Lupo, and Tim the Tatman? Yeah, I don't know much about them. Twitch streamers aren't the only ones bracing for a financial squeeze from their big tech bosses. Amazon announced it would add a 5% fuel and inflation surcharge to third-party sellers who use the company's fulfillment centers as a way to offset increased costs. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Fuel and inflation is making things more expensive. But again, is Amazon really having money problems? Does Amazon have to do this? I understand it's in the every company's best interest to maximize profits, but are they just using this as an excuse to make more money? Do they feel like they have to balance the books exactly to balance like income and outcome of money? Third-party sellers. In a notice to sellers viewed by the Associated Press, Amazon said that hourly wages, construction costs, and new hires during the pandemic were to blame for the increased price hikes. Okay, so yeah. They're saying, oh, we have to increase prices because we're paying our workers more, and that's cutting into our profits. But yeah, it's the same issue as before. Does Amazon not have enough money already? I mean, I guess inflation is making everything more expensive, but yeah, Amazon wasn't exactly struggling as a company during the pandemic. Oh, well, yeah, that's the other thing. Amazon became hugely profitable during the pandemic. It was one of the companies that was positioned to benefit greatly. In the first quarter of 2021, the company posted a record $108.5 billion in revenue, which comes out to nearly triple its revenue from the same time the previous year. Wow. Oh, hey. Over at Etsy, sellers went on strike and issued a digital boycott over what they viewed as an exorbitant increases to seller fees. Yeah, that seems fair. Etsy recently tried to increase seller transaction fees by 30%, which would, in effect, raise the seller fee from 5 to 6.5%. Yeah, well, good for those guys at Etsy for going on strike and issuing a digital boycott. I don't know how much good that's going to do. I mean, it seems like it's going to just drive more commerce over to Amazon and other competitors. Yeah, it seems sad. I mean, there's nothing really they can do. If all their competitors are doing the same thing, then it would be nice if they could. Maybe they could try to do it, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. In effect, raise the seller fee from... You know, it seems like everyone is just fucked in this situation. Seems like so let's read the comments. Seems like an awesome way to dissuade all but the biggest streamers from using Twitch as their platform of choice. The big ones can probably negotiate individual contracts, but everyone else just has to take it or leave it. Didn't know streamers didn't get to keep all their sub money in the first place. Well, I guess it makes sense that Twitch would take a bit of a cut, but again, like 30% seems like quite a bit, especially since the streamers are the ones like getting all the money to come in the first place. Like, Twitch provides the platform for them to do so, but I mean, I think 30% is already enough. Amazon needs Twitch to be profitable, but this is kind of a dick move from the company that's expected to cross $500 billion in revenue for fiscal 2022. Getting paid to play video games wasn't a great thing to bank on being a long-term source of income, to be honest. Well, people should be able to get the fruits of their own labor. I mean, they're already getting a 30% cut. That sounds like an awful awful like the kind of argument people make when they say people working at McDonald's don't deserve to be paid enough to live off because it's not a real job. If those streamers are the ones generating the revenue, then they should be getting their fair share in return. Yes, that's true. It seems like they're just trying to just squeeze as much money as they can out of it, because they said they're going to run more ads too. I mean, Hassan is running one 60-second ad every hour. What is it? Is it going to be 2 60-second ads every hour? Is it going to be 3? Like, that's going to be like not watchable. Like, either you're going to have to get a subscription or Twitch Prime, or you would have to like probably go somewhere else to. Oh, they have likes, but they're like stars? Okay, whatever. Yeah, comment sections on articles are kind of messy sometimes. YouTube has similar terms, but they only take a 20% cut. But YouTube's algorithm is weird, so it makes it harder for streamers to find footing. Okay, that makes... Yeah, YouTube's algorithm is weird. I don't know about Twitch's algorithm, though. I guess Twitch is more, I don't know, streamlined, because, you know, you have to pick a category that you're streaming in, and then viewers can search for streamers streaming in that category. Whereas YouTube, it's like you can tag your videos certain things, but it's sort of a hit or miss if it gets advertised to the right people. Getting played to pay football wasn't a great thing to bank on either, but it sure as shit worked out for some people. That is true, yeah. Some wannabe athletes end up just not making it. I mean, these college athletes get fucked. I'm sure there's all sorts of jobs that are very risky or not profitable, but still they don't need the institutions sort of stepping on their necks, trying to squeeze all the money they can out of them, just keeping them down and keeping newcomers out of the establishments. That's another thing, because you gotta it seems like Twitch is focusing on like getting its biggest content creators to be its main source of income, which it already sort of is. It already sort of is that case, but Twitch is way too top heavy right now, and it seems like they're going to make it more top heavy. And entertainment, I mean, Twitch is entertainment, so it's very comparable. Like entertainment, musicians, there are so many musicians that just don't make it, that like people write music for years and years and they just get rejected, and they have to just get a regular job, I guess. I mean, actors, oh my gosh, there are so many failed actors in LA. It's sad, honestly. So many wannabe, like, these kids living in the Midwest. They're the most entertaining person in their small town, so they move to LA thinking they can make it big, but the competition is just cutthroat and brutal, and it's already hard enough. Why would you make it harder? It seems like this is a move in favor of the establishment. It's making the established figures more powerful and more untouchable, and making it a lot harder to break in to that establishment and get recognition and get a spot, get a seat at the table. They have a monopoly, of course they will raise prices. Welcome to the entirety of Amazon's business strategy. Yes. Amazon seems like they're buying up all sorts of industries. It's they're getting as horizontal as they can. They're definitely dominant. I wouldn't call them a monopoly. That's true, but they are dominant. Seems like they're monopolizing a lot of different industries. All it would really take is a handful of major streamers to move towards YouTube and Facebook for the market to diversify a lot more. Frankly, this move by Twitch might force that to happen. Yeah, it's making me consider at least dual streaming to YouTube. I don't know about Facebook. Facebook is for boomers mostly, but hey, lots of people on Facebook. Maybe I can get some views. But hey, yeah, Twitch is better at it, but there are very good streaming alternatives. Monopoly, when anyone can create their own website for cheap. I mean, that's not a great argument. I mean, you have to build all sorts of connections. It takes years to get big, at least. Trickle-down economics only applies to costs. Yep. Okay, so nice article. Let's read the Twitch comment. I mean, Reddit comments. How was that? The line must go up. Yes, we must sacrifice to the line god. The god of the markets. The invisible hand requires blood. It demands blood. Why do line go up? Sounds like someone want lines to go down. Reminder why line never go down. Pin him to the board. Make an example out of him. Yeah, line always has to go up. Never goes down. I declare myself a Veblen good. I've heard of this. It's the kind of good that is only super valuable because everyone agrees it is. I will raise market prices and everyone will love it. I shall cut all costs. Nice. Is something in the megacorp drinking water lately, aside from the usual greed? Infinite growth is literally impossible. These corporations end up having to hurt themselves to be able to show short-term profit growth. This is the problem with capitalism. It's all about maximizing short-term gains and not caring at all about long-term sustainability. Many execs and investors won't be with the company in a few years. They will jump to other companies. So they don't care if they damage the long-term viability to boost the short-term gains. It will be the Twitch streamers and Twitch rank-and-file employees that pay the price. Yeah. Especially the investors. I mean, maybe some of the executives care about the company, but the investors, they're just there to make a profit. And the way that publicly traded companies work is that, like, the shareholders demand short-term profit. And if you don't deliver enough quarterly profit, if the quarterly earnings report isn't good enough, then they can sue you and they can get you fired, and sometimes they do. And that's one of the institutional reasons why short-term gains are prioritized so much. And yeah, it's the Twitch employees, and most importantly the Twitch streamers, the people who are actually making the content, who are getting shafted, whose pay is being cut, even though they're the ones making the content and getting people to donate and subscribe. It was growing whilst I was CEO, so clearly the company struggled without me. Oh yeah, they're saying like, oh, things were fine while I was CEO, then I left, and then and then things started falling apart, so you need me to come back, and I need to be paid millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. And of course, where is that money coming from? From the streamers, who's being paid less and less, so the executives can be paid more and more. As someone that's worked in tech in a while, it's scarily how accurate this is. Yes, I mean, seems like, yeah, I guess it's a problem with the tech sector. IBM, I mean, it's a problem in a lot of industries, but especially the tech sector, I'd say. Fun fact, IBM fired most of their highly paid employees above a certain age in order to make the numbers look good for a second. Really? Wait, how does that make sense? well, most of their highly paid employees, I guess, like, so they don't have to pay their salaries, so they can post more, post more profits. That's why IBM is the tech titan it is today. Oh, so it actually worked. Okay. Owning Red Hat and being one of the to-go tech consultancies is huge. There's still a titan, just a shitty one. Yeah. IBM is not great. Okay, let's, dick rockets don't fund themselves. Yes, someone has to pay for these joy rides into space. Damn, watching Jeff Bezos, like, just laughing, like, so much, and just being, like, I don't know, so, I don't want to admit it, but I am, like, envious of him. I mean, he's just flying up in space, just T-posing over the entire Earth, and he doesn't, who knows if he is even, like, conscious of how much people hate him. I mean, it's clearly, like, clearly he knows, like, a lot of people criticize him, but I think, like, a lot of rich people, especially, like, Jeff Bezos is, like, the richest of the rich. I think they're, like, insulated from a lot of the criticism they receive. They're insulated from a lot of, like, the consequences of them hoarding all this wealth, because, like, if you're rich, you don't want to see poor people. You don't want to even be around them. Jeff Bezos can afford to. Rich people can afford to, like, be in their own yachts in like the rich regions of Western Europe, and if you're Jeff Bezos, you can afford to go all the way to fucking space to escape all the poor people. So maybe it's possible that Jeff Bezos does not realize that there are tens of millions of broke ass people who look at him and just, like, have, like, this seething hatred of him, and how, like, he's like so fucking happy because, like, he's sucked all this money out of like millions of people's lives. I mean, he said, like, oh, I'd like to thank, after the first rocket trip, he was like, oh, I'd like to thank all the Amazon employees that worked so hard because you paid for all this. I mean, he has to know on some level that, like, his employees do not like being worked to the bone. Okay, anyway. Twitch reportedly looking to follow Netflix and kneecap itself for short-term gain. Yep, again, short-term gain over long-term profits. Blame it on investors and management. Both groups are only worried about the numbers for the next few quarters and will do almost anything to get to them, including damaging their long-term future. Okay, so yeah, it looks like a lot of people are on to the same thing. A lot of companies are concerned with maximizing short-term profits and do not care about long-term sustainability. Damaging the company's long-term future, the investors and management both obviously do not care for a future with the company. They will bleed it dry and move to the next. Yeah, I mean, if you're a CEO, I guess like if you have a resume as a CEO of a company, you can just get, or not even CEO, just like on the board of directors in the management positions, you can just get a new management position at a new company in the same industry. And they are just like parasites, all of them. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Reading the actual Bloomberg that broke the news, it sounds like more the spitballing than an actual plan. Well, it seemed like from the article we read that they plan on doing it. But it's possible that they will change the plans. Twitch functions as a very economical way for Amazon Web Services to develop streaming software. Large chunks of the program have already been migrated over to there. Wait, Amazon Web Services is developing streaming software by running Twitch? I doubt Amazon gives a flying fuck about the profitability of Twitch. It wouldn't even register them financially. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Twitch is small compared to everything else that Amazon owns. I don't know what the profitability of Amazon looks like. Actually, they said, like, the first quarter of 2021, it was like $500 billion. Let's see. Amazon profits. Quarter 4 2021 beats 657.58%. Wow, that's a lot. Wait, can we see, like, profits over time? Oh, revenue. 137.41 billion for December 2021. Oh, revenue net income. Is this everything that Amazon owns or just Amazon? Okay. Well, the point is, like, it doesn't, it seems like Amazon, like, just wants to squeeze all the money they can out of every single thing. I mean, the thing about, like Amazon fulfillment center workers, like, having to run to the bathroom and back, or else they'll get their pay docked. It's like, why do they even have to do that? There's like no reason they have to do that. Like, or like, they don't install air conditioning, and even though they know people faint from heat stroke, so they just have an ambulance waiting outside of the warehouse to take people to the hospital when some of them inevitably faint from heat stroke. It's like, do they even have to do that? Why do they even have to do that? There's no reason they have to do that. They're just doing it because they want to, like, cut every single tiny little corner that they can. It's, like, kind of disgusting. Twitch functions as a very economical way for Amazon Web Services to develop streaming software. Develop streaming software. Does that mean they're, like, improving Twitch's streaming software as they're going? Amazon was famously unprofitable on paper, but their dominance online is not happenstance. It is the product of mind-bendingly disciplined focus on metrics and outcomes. Just because a business does not generate profit doesn't mean it isn't tracking revenue and OPEX and other metrics fastidiously, even if the business unit isn't turning a profit. Their performance is being tracked in a bunch of different ways because their culture, Amazon anyway, is built on leanness, efficiency, and accountability up and down. Okay, so Amazon was famously unprofitable. That's funny. I think I heard this somewhere. They will just spend all of their profits buying up other stuff. Like, they're buying up all these other things in different industries, which I guess is good. They're not just sitting on their wealth. I mean, Jeff Bezos got obscenely rich somehow, but they were unprofitable on paper because they're spending all their money on growing Amazon. Yes, that's what I said. And leveraging details like you pay them $40 for this product on day 0. They send the supplier $30 they owe them, and on day 45 as specified in their contract. That's how every single purchase order functions for every business around the entire world. Okay. And most of Reddit makes like 30K and has never had any form of leadership or management role. I mean, yeah, probably. But I think this guy's onto something at least. Their performance is being tracked in a bunch of different ways. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I don't know if I want to get into all that. YouTube is gonna scoop some more big streamers if they really decide to do that. Yeah, I never thought I would beg for Mixer to come back. Is that another streaming service? Never even used Mixer, but I was sad when it closed. I don't care what it is, company it is, but competition of any kind is really good. Yes, competition is good. Um, Seems like Amazon is such a big company. It can afford to run. It can afford to run companies at a loss, like its subsidiary companies. So it can like run stuff at a loss, just crushing all the competition. And then when all the competition is gone, they establish a monopoly or a semi-monopoly, or a monopoly in like a certain area or market. And um, then once they have that monopoly, they can do whatever they want. They can raise prices. They can treat their workers like shit. They can do whatever. Again, because like Amazon. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Amazon is like such. Okay, whatever. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I used Mixer before, but it was nice, but noticeably smaller than Twitch. Less games being treated, less content. Mixer was less toxic. Yeah, this is the problem with like yeah, just make a new website. Oh, Twitch is bad. Just make a new Twitch. Well, it's really hard to break into the streaming business when like you have huge competitors like Twitch and YouTube and others. And you just don't have that much content on your site. And so like it eventually just fizzles and dies out. The tech was better too, at least as a viewer. 4K streams plus their FTL protocol, which limited the delay between the streamer and viewer, was amazing. 4K streams, yeah, that's pretty cool. Lack of delay was absolutely key. Oh, I bet that made chatting easier. Being able to respond to viewers in a truly conversational pace was amazing. I miss Mixer. I mean, Twitch's delay isn't so bad. I mean, a delay of a few seconds isn't that big of a deal. Maybe it is a kind of a big. It's not a big deal, but it is a deal. You know. Can't believe Microsoft pulled another Zune Windows phone, made an amazing product, did nothing to support it, then pulled the plug immediately after a massive investment. Oh yeah, I remember the Zune phone. Or the Windows phone. Wait, isn't Android the Windows phone? Or is that the Google phone? Oh yeah, the Zune. I remember that. In the mid-2000s, a competitor to the iPod. Yeah. Microsoft killed it way too early. Happy Cake Day. It might have done well if they had given it another solid 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Seems like Microsoft makes some bad business decisions sometimes. I mean, and some good ones though. It kept it until Twitch decided to pull this. Yeah. Okay, so Microsoft owns Mixer. Yeah, why didn't they just keep it running? They could have like kept a little piece of the market just in case an opening opened up in the market, and they can just grow that little piece, but they didn't do that. People need to understand that corporations are only useful as vehicles for wealth generation. Once they've saturated the market, growth stops, and now it's time to bleed the soon-to-be corpse dry. Happens all the time, yes. This is the issue we looked at before. It's like infinite growth is impossible. Once you've reached market saturation, you can't generate profits nearly at the levels you used to. So then, like, you don't want to have to, like, lay people off or, like, make the investors unhappy. So you got to find any way to make money that you possibly can. It's kind of like a video game I guess, where it's like once you reach the end game of the video game, you gotta just like go on all the different side quests to like find different stuff to do to like occupy your time. Because like if you're playing Elden Ring and you have an ultra great sword plus 20, like you spent so much time getting all the smithing stones and getting all the runes you need to upgrade that sword, and you probably like found a really good Ash of War to put on it, and that costs a lot of runes too. So like you don't want to just give all that up and start a new game. You have to use the great sword somehow. You gotta like roleplay as Gutsu from Berserk. Exactly. Startups are all about acquiring market share without caring about profit, usually operating at a loss. And once you've captured a market, you start raising prices, hoping to get bought out as you start showing profits. Then the new owners come in, strip out everything that is expensive, usually what made the platform successful, that's true, yeah, and raise rates to extort as much profit as possible until the product dies. Often the new owner has their own competing platform already, and their goal all along was transition people off the now failing platform and onto their already existing platform. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, it's like these establishment figures are so big that they can afford to just buy their competitors. Like that's the end game of the free market. Corporations are so big they don't even need to compete with anyone because they can just buy the competition. That's fucked. Um, the new owners come in and strip out everything that is expensive, usually what made the platform successful. Yeah, like yeah, the good stuff is the usually the expensive stuff. That's sad. Um, anyway, this process sounds like a cancer metastasizing. I'm glad the health of our economy works like this. Quite literally a pump and dump scheme. Another cake day. When I invest in a company, I get upset if its governing body CEO does not help artificially inflate its value. Never mind. I should read comments before I upvote them. Not just because they have a cake next to their name. Oh, cake day. When I invest in a company, I get upset if its governing body CEO does not help artificially inflate its value. Okay, whatever. Twitch doesn't produce content and now just wants to kneecap the earnings of those who do produce content for its platform. IDK about all of you, but that seems counterproductive for its business model. Well, as we saw above, it seems counterproductive, but really, they have to keep the quarterly earnings rates as high as they can. This wouldn't be the first thing Twitch has done that's counterproductive for its business model. Yeah, like banning people for stupid reasons. Can't help but feel like YouTube has noticed a pattern and is timing its new features with when Twitch goes up. Probably just wishful thinking. Yeah, maybe I will just start streaming on YouTube. This is step one of making a figurative noose. Okay. Yep, well, I think we covered everything there is. And yeah, I've been recording for a while. And, I'm getting tired of talking. Really working my, throat and tongue muscles. I don't often talk for this long, uninterrupted. I guess I am still a small streamer, so I am getting used to it, which is why I'm considering dual streaming to YouTube or just moving to YouTube altogether. I mean, yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, and I'm going to play Elden Ring now. So if you're watching this video, you can watch my other videos on Elden Ring. I'll be posting more videos. Oh, I did a reading series on Attack on Titan, the manga. So you can read that. I had to do it because like the anime is almost over, and it's like I just had to finish it. I had to react to it reading it for the first time too. And anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Good night.